sessions are an informal way of people dropping in, talking about history, archaeology, things that interest them without having to join anything or commit to anything. It's also a good place where we can tell people what else is available at the museum, but also in Newport as well, courses, books are at the library. We've been discussing today online courses, MOOCs, that are relevant to some of the things we've been talking about. One of the good things about doing this kind of thing in a pub is that there is the informality. When we started here in the LAN 18 months ago, it wasn't just the people sat at the end in the corner who got involved in it. People standing at the bar would overhear a few things and slowly they'd be drawn into it as well. During Adult Learners Week last year and with the Festival of Dangerous Ideas, we've expanded somewhat, so we're also in cafes, social clubs, community centres and so forth. So it's down your local club, pub, community centre or cafe, and we like to think there's a welcome here for everyone, and people do say that they like the informality there.
Actually, is education wasted on the young? No, it's not wasted on the young, it's not wasted on anyone of any age. But what is wasted is knowledge acquisition, the type of pedagogy that we're delivering to our young people and to our older people as well. Because we need to be thinking about where we do it, when we do it, who we do it with. And I think if I put any dangerous idea out there, because I'm going over my time, I know, it will be, I don't think the answer to that is any more money. I think we've had more than enough money to do all of the things we need to do. Sorry, I'm just throwing this in here. But I think what we do need to do is start rethinking the whole system.
So this project, we offered an open invitation to members of the local community to kind of put themselves forward if they felt that they had a skill or a bit of knowledge that they felt other people could learn from. And we'd asked them to do that in the form of submitting a little 3-minute video. And we said, you could do it on a camera phone, or you could do it on a little camcorder, however you wanted to do it. And 6 kind of very brave people put themselves forward and submitted their ideas. And the ideas ranged from intergenerational learning to refocusing on youth to intercultural understanding. So the variety was absolutely huge. And then we actually offered those videos out to the general public, and we asked the general public exactly which one do you want to see in full, which ideas sparkling interest in your mind, who do you want to learn the most, who do you think you can learn the most from. And the top 3 have been invited here tonight just to have 10 minutes on the stage to kind of elaborate on their points. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to film those as individual videos then that we're going to put online. So it's the community deciding for themselves exactly how and what they want to learn, and then it's there for the longer term as a kind of long-term resource tool.
At Arts for Wellbeing, we firmly believe that the community is the best place to do learning and education, and that the people within the community actually have the excitement and the skills and the knowledge and the resources and the interests in different particular fields where they can skill share and teach each other. The idea is that at the end of that they will be a lot more empowered within themselves because it's come from within rather than put into. Does that make sense?
Well, I run an organisation called Career Women Wales, which is a social enterprise that supports women to look at career choices and to help them to create career paths and maps for their future. Because I found that when I was training women, a lot of them would be doing bits of training or going into pieces of work and not quite know where that bigger picture was. One of the things that we'd been talking about was around the figures of women in STEM careers, which is science, technology, engineering and maths. 13% of STEM jobs in the UK are occupied by women. That's a really low percentage when you think, back 10 years earlier when people start to study these subjects. Girls are outperforming and are studying them in inequality. So why do we all of a sudden hit an inequality when we get into the workplace? And the conversations we've had so far this morning have been really, really exciting, and we have come up with some really dangerous ideas that we'll be presenting to Welsh Government. It's brilliant that Rosemary Butler has sponsored this event, and she's really engaged on taking this forward because she's very keen on building equality herself.
This is the sort of yin and yang of life and death, if you like. What I'm very concerned with is this is a neat and tidy border running down here, and actually that's no longer the case. And I suppose I'm simply raising this as something for us to think about, and something that generates really, I think, quite significant, if you like, philosophical or existential issues, and that should be something that our education or our lifelong learning system has some kind of response to.
Perhaps people would like to sit, I don't know. Something not far behind.
Someone's up.
Oh no, I think.
Sorry, I'll just...
Oh, hello everybody, where's the chocolate? Where's the chocolate? Chocolate? What's happening then? You all... Oh, right, I'll tell you what, then how about I tell you a story? Would that be all right?
The audience today didn't know what was going to happen. We've walked into an office building, which is not a place where you normally get performances of traditional stories. And the storytellers deliberately chose stories that they hoped would have a resonance with the people who are working here.
We ask all of our staff to engage and embody our core values, which are really important to us at Principality, and we felt that these performances were a really good way of bringing them to life in a creative and different way for our staff. We're really engaged with reading and the importance of reading. We've got reading partnerships with several local schools in the area, and it was just a really nice extension from that to bring everything together and to get our staff really involved with something very different and something that we don't normally do in the workplace.
I mean, there was lots of stuff about where you could use storytelling techniques, for example, in terms of, perhaps I won't do that email next time, or I won't do that presentation in that way next time. I might employ, why not tell them a story? Because I think the way stories work, they engage, whereas perhaps a dry presentation doesn't engage nearly so well.
We've done this sort of thing in schools, but as far as I know, certainly it's the first time for Beyond the Border we've ever tried to infiltrate an office environment and bring stories direct to the workforce.
I thought it was delightful today to see three people tell stories, and even more delightful to look at people's expressions around the room as that was happening, so it was beautiful.